I was wrong. You do need a rig, but a minimalistic one. You wanna rig up your camera without spending too much and being carried away? Today, we are gonna talk about a minimalistic camera cage system, including a super cool, unique and nifty power supply. I've combined SmallRig's master kit with Core SWX's Edge power base to get the ultimate run and gun rig setup. Make sure to stick till the end because beside the huge confession from me, we are gonna cover everything. Items, features, pricing and aspects of building your rig. But first, intro. Disclaimer: SmallRig and Core SWX did send me these items, but they have no saying in how I review them, so the tips and opinion I'm gonna share is my own and honest thoughts. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why would you need a cage? Why would you build a rig? To be honest, I don't know. I always felt like it was an overkill. Most likely, you already have an amazing camera, which for me is the Sony a7S III. It does everything you need and even more. As for a videographer, the smoothness of movements and the creamy results all depends on your skills. So yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna waste my money on useless accessories just because they make my gear more fancy or look good. But then, as time went by, I found myself in situations where I was wondering about what's missing, what could make my creative workflow better. And this brings me to my great confession. I was wrong. In those situations I felt limited, and that's exactly when I say you should buy something. You should never buy something just because it is dope or fancy in the vlogosphere or to show off with your creator friends or at a shoot, but only when you feel like your gear park is limiting your creative workflow in some way. So that's what I felt. I found myself looking for an external monitor. I found myself wishing the camera was actually heavier so my movements would be smoother. I found myself not wanting to use a gimbal in certain scenarios to get the freedom of handheld, but wished I had a better grip and handle on my camera. I found myself shooting angles where I wished I could go underslung, but still, not a gimbal situation. I found myself wishing I didn't run out of battery and didn't need extra batteries to not only give extra juice to the camera, but power my, for example, external monitor. Now, how could I solve all of my problems? By building a rig. But a rig sounds expensive, sounds big, it sounds complicated. This was when I started looking for a solution that on one hand could solve all my problems, but on the other doesn't cost me a fortune and doesn't bulk up my run and gun setup. This is how I found and decided to go with SmallRig's master kit with side handles and Core SWX's power base edge. Now, let me spend a minute on flexing. Just look at it, how dope it looks. It makes my a7S III look like a transformer, yet keeps it pretty easy as well. The best part is that I get to decide how many things I attach or if I just want to use it in its most simple form. Okay, let me show you the rig part by part. Shall we start with the SmallRig master kit? Yes sir, we do. First and foremost, this is designed specifically for the a7S III, so it has a super form-fitting full cage. The packaging is pretty cool and not so many plastics are used, mainly paper. In the package you get an HDMI cable clamp, which is great, but there is one downside. When the cable is not attached, it cannot be fixed, and that's just a pain in the ass. Here I have to mention how cool it is to use an external monitor. I will have a separate video about field monitors, so make sure to subscribe and press the notification bell as well, so you won't miss that video. You get a NATO rail and the quick release top handle is included as well, so it has all the holes and all the connections you would need. 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch screw holes, cold shoe mount, airy mount. It feels great to hold, keeps everything in balance. While we are at it, I really love the design and the color of it. It not only provides a dope look, but has a thought out features like accessing the buttons is easy, they are not covered. Then the sides of the cage is actually a NATO rail as well. On the bottom of the cage you find a magnetic screwer to the mount that is mounted to the camera. While this is a super cool feature, it's the only downside on the other hand. What I mean is that every time you want to use the cage, you have to screw the camera in. I just wish they would have added a quick release system for mounting the camera on and off the cage. Well, this is how it is. So let's move on to the side handles. I got the wooden one and it is cool, but I regret two things. I should have gotten two for both sides, and I should have gotten the one with the recording button so I could start and stop my shoots while I'm holding the handle. Well, I just had to order one, and here it is. In terms of features, everything is pretty thought out about this. You can adjust the height of where the handle should connect to, and the cage has 4 holes that you can choose from. Plus, it has a little Allen key, also a magnetic one, and you can use that to securely tighten the knobs which have holes in it for the Allen key. Simple and smart. Oh, and the handle has an extra cold shoe mount and a few screw holes as well. I will sum it up and give some tips and hacks about the rig, but to do so, first we have to talk about the Power Base Edge. So, what is this thing? It is super nerdy and techy video stuff packed in an Apple kind of user experience device that powers everything that you need on your rig. The box is cool, and when you order you can select what camera you have, so they include the dummy battery, which makes this nifty device an even better deal. Talking about the box, it also comes with a D-Tab charger. Remember that I said that it is packed with tons of cool features? Here is what I meant. While it can be adjusted as a standard V-mount pack, its uniqueness comes from its design. It can be mounted under the camera and features a quick release system. The only negative I can say is that I wish the quick release system was an Arca Swiss. Back to the pack. It is outfitted with a 7.4 volt port, which is enough for almost any mirrorless camera to its power demands. It also has 2 USB 5 volt outputs and 2 14 volt power tap outputs. Thanks to these ports is why it is so suitable, since it covers nearly all video production powering applications. As Core SWX puts it, it is the Swiss Army knife of battery packs. It has such an extended runtime compared to the in-body batteries. It has around 5 times the power, which means a full day of shoot on one charge. Let me rephrase that. It is 8+ hours. The unit has an LCD panel that is backlit and shows the runtime, percentage and the grid when it is in standby. When charging it, it shows the time to 100. I almost forgot to mention that you can charge it with any standard V-mount chargers as well. It comes with 2 crucial safety features. One, it has a storage mode that reduces the chance of the battery being in full charge, and this brings me to point numero 2. It is travel safe and has an air compliant label so you can take it with you on flights. There you have it. This is my dream run and gun setup. I collected a few points to help you decide whether or not you should also consider this. If you want to get a handheld smooth motion for those creamy B-rolls, this rig gives you the weight, but not too much. So it helps you to get rid of those micro jitters. 2, you have various handling options. 2 hands, top handle for underslung mode, mounting it to tripods or sliders. 3, the power base plate frees you up from worrying if you run out of juice. 4, if you wish to use additional accessories that need power, like an external monitor, the power base has your back. Last but not least, The fifth is that this setup is so customizable, so you are future-proofing yourself if you decide to change or add something down the road. Let me know in the comments of your thoughts, or just share what rig do you use. All the links are in the description under the like button, which, by the way, you should press. And if this is the first time that we met and you found what you saw helpful, consider hitting that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos about creator-related tech reviews and tips and tricks, and also about BTS vlogs where I take you along with me to shoots and show you my creative workflow. And by the way, on the end screen you could click on these cards as well, because, well, it's good for you, good for me, and good for the algorithm. Well, that's it from me. Happy creating. Catch you in the next one. Bye.